last class about the pronunciation of Jacobos, how you had said that Yoda Alpha is not a diphthong, and why am I pronouncing it Jacobos instead of Jacobos? So as I looked in that a little bit, if you listen to recordings of people saying the name Jesus, which is has a similar pronunciation, a spelling that we pronounce Jesus in Greek, you can technically, if you want to follow the letter of the law as it is in the grammar, you could say Jesus or Iakobos. But let me ask you this question. How many syllables are in or how many syllables are in the word drawer? Is it drawer or is it drawer? Is it drawer? Because it's kind of like 1.5, right? It is technically one syllable, drawer, but there's that little bit extra in the beginning. So to bracket things off and make the words really neatly, this is one syllable, this is two syllables, it's kind of drags on the middle a little bit, kind of a syllable and a half. So we can pronounce it. It would be awkward to pronounce this Iakobos, but I guess if you want to be technically correct, it's not Iakobos, it would be Iakobos. It's kind of Iakobos. It's fluid. But if you listen to people say it, or if you listen to people say Jesus, they'll say Jesus. They won't say Jesus, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, so let's just jump in with this first sentence right here. I can go ahead and read it, but does anybody feel confident and they want to try and read it for the class? Sentence 1, right here. All right, Stephanie.
Jakobs. Kairi. Igo ami Jakobas. Tis e su.
Thank you. How did you pronounce this word right here?
Emi.
Yeah, I got Amy. So remember this epsilon iota is like it's like freight train A. So it's like Amy. So Kaire, ego, Amy, Jakobas. Tise su. No new vocabulary right here. So does anybody care to translate it into English briefly?
Who are you?
Great. So hello, Kaire. So remember, what does Kaire mean? Yeah, it means Kaire, rejoice, be happy. So everyone say Kaire, ego, emi, Jakobas. So tis a su. Tis a su. So if you're going through that exaggerated gestures, that's just going to help you learn this vocabulary more, to correlate them with actual actions. So we got Jakobas. Jakobas says, Kaire, ego emi Jakobas. Tise su. Hello, I am Jacob. Or hello, I am James. That can be translated either way. Who are you? And so our favorite character, Dawid, responds, this table in the middle. Who wants to try and read this one? I'll go ahead and take it. Dawid. Kaire, ego emi Dawid. Ti graphes. Okay. All right. So we've got a new word here. Graphes. Does anybody want to try and translate this sentence? All right. Stephanie's got it.
This is how I translate it.
Yeah.
Write you what?
Yeah. Write you what? Or what are you writing? Yeah, in English. Okay. So what is this? What is this word?
What?
T is what? And if I were to put a sigma at the end of it, what would that then say?
Who?
Who, right. T is what? Tis is who. Okay, so Stephanie, you translated this as you write what? Or what are you writing? Can you explain to the class why you did that?
Well, I underlined the IES in graphes.
The epsilon iota sigma.
Yes. And then I looked at the chart and that told me that was second person singular.
Right.
It made me realize he was asking someone what they're writing.
Mm-hmm.
Graph is to write.
Yeah, it is. So do you see how graph? I mean, like our English word for write is write, but like what's in a pencil? Yeah, lead. But what is traditionally in a pencil?
Graphite.
Graphite. Yeah. Or if I were, what is this? I've got the X and the Y and this. What is that? A graph, right. So it's you can kind of see the connection between where our English is coming from as we're pulling from this ancient vocabulary. Graphes, graphite, a graph means to, or monograph means to write. Okay, so let's read this again. Dawid, kare, ego, emi, Dawid. And then I want you to do this. T graphes. There's a point. Oh, actually with one finger, sorry. T graphes. Right. So we've got O, ace, A, amen, ete, usin, or usi. This is something we were just singing. We've got singular here, plural here, first, second, third person. Remember, first person is me, second person is you, third person is that guy, someone else. And so if it's first singular, the O ending, it's me. Second singular ace, you. Third singular he, she, or it. First plural, amen, is us. You and me, we, amen. Ete is y'all, you guys, that second person plural. And third person plural, usin is those people, those guys. All right? So we said, Dawid, Kaire, ego emi Dawid, ti graphes. What are you writing? Okay.
Graphes can either be present tense or present progressive. Context, I guess.
Yeah, you mean so present progressive.
I guess tells me
Yeah.
I'm asking a question, so it would have to be present progressive.
Right. So present progressive is you are writing, as in you're currently in the act of writing, or just first person, or present, you write. It's a nuance in English, but it's the same thing in Greek. We're referring to something that's happening right now, that's currently underway. What are you writing, or what do you write? Either is plural. Perfect. But yeah, if we were to try and shoehorn it into an English that sounds pleasant to our ears, we'd say, what are you writing? Yeah. Any questions on that sentence? Yeah.
PHI,
Mm-hmm.
in graph. It looks different than like I'm used to seeing it.
Oh, you're used to seeing it like that?
Yeah, so that threw me off for a long time.
Yeah, because this is a capital. That's a lowercase.
But that's not what it shows in the. Just
Where you look, what page are you
page
looking at?
1, lesson 1.
Page 1.
And it looks similar, like if you wrote it quick. It's like
Confused by that.
it's like
Mhm.
the way they did it in the reader was just like.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a bit of a disconnect in the font.
There's one of the videos we had
Yeah.
to watch, I think in the first week or second, that they showed you starting in the kind of upper left around 11 o'clock, coming around and then straight.
Yeah. As you
Without your pencil leaving the page.
Yeah.
as you continue to write in Greek, you'll develop your own way that is comfortable for you to form these letters, as everyone else has their own penmanship. That's a good observation, Stephanie. Yeah. So you've noticed that sometimes you'll see it written like that. Sometimes you'll see it written like that. Same letter. I had mentioned this once previously, but remember, if we look at graph in English, graph, every time you see an English word that has ph in it, that means it's actually a Greek word. And that ph, somewhere over thousands of years of writing it, that got separated and turned into ph. I don't know how or why. I think that's vastly interesting. But okay, what is this guy?
Question.
Yeah, it's a colon or semicolon in English, but in Greek, it's a question mark. Great. So Jakobos, Kare, ego emi Jakobos, ti su. Dawid, Kare, ego emi Dawid, ti graphes. What are you writing? Okay, let's get to line 5. Somebody at this table? Does anybody want to try and read line 5? Perfect. Jakobos. And then Jacob says, anyone want to translate? Yeah, I'm writing a book. Why? So we've got grapho. This is the first person singular ending, grapho. So this word grapho by itself is I write. So you might notice we've got this this personal pronoun here, ego, which means I. So it's a little bit redundant. Ego, grapho. So how would we translate that then? Does anyone want to take a guess? Yeah, so it's literally, we can say that. I write a book. We wouldn't just say I write book, but I write a book. But since it is, since we've got the first person singular here, I write, but we're sticking this on here. If you look at page 7 in Jeong on note 5, it says the pronoun ego is not strictly necessary since it is implied by the first person singular verb grapho. First person singular, it's got that omega ending. But its inclusion adds emphasis. So there's a couple ways you could translate that in English. You can either say, I write, put it in italics, a book, or you could say, I myself write a book. Just so more than just I write a book, I write a book, or I myself am writing a book.
So what if, could you just say grafo biblio?
You can?
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll see, so that's the same thing here. T graphes. We don't say T su graphes. You could, but that would be redundant. So T graphes is what are you writing? We could just cross this out and say grapho biblion. I write a book, and you'll see that plenty of times. Actually, that you'll probably see that more often. But they've stuck this ego in here for emphasis.
Is that like more pollinators?
Just emphasis.
Okay.
So rather than saying I'm writing a book, I am writing a book, or I myself am writing a book. Emphasis. Yeah. Okay. So Jakobos, ego grapho biblion. Mary enters stage left. This is a short sentence. Anyone want to read that? Yes, go for it. Maria, Kaire. She's like, what's up? All right. Back over to this table. Does anybody want to try and read line 11?
David, Kyrie, Lefax, OT, Awakaba, Graphat.
Grapha, yeah. So Dawid says, Kaire, blepes, hoti Jakobos, graphe. The inflection with my, like I'm asking a question, graphe? Kaire, blepes, hoti Jakobos, graphe. Does anybody other than Stephanie want to try and translate this or feels comfortable with it?
Do you see Jakobos writing?
Yeah, a little bit. We missed one word.
Ha.
You remember this word, hoti?
Do you see that Jakobos?
Right, yeah, it's, do you see that Jakobos is writing? Okay, so somebody tell me what this is. This ending on blepes. What is that?
Person singular.
Second person singular. Yeah, so second person singular. You see, if I were to just translate this by itself, blepes, you see. As you start learning this vocabulary, you start making connections to English that aren't there. When I try to remember this word blepes, I think of I've got this little radar screen, and it's kind of going around scanning, and it hits something, and when it hits it, it goes blip. I see you.
That's a good way to remember
Yeah,
it.
so I see
Yeah, I know.
blip.
You get a hit.
Blepes, yeah, there he is. So blepes means to see, so everybody go like this. Kaire, blepes,
It's
blepes, do you see? Do you see that Jakobos? And then someone want to read this one? Graphe?
Yes.
So what's this ending right here? This epsilon iota. Third person singular. So if I were to just translate graphe by itself, I'd say he write, or he is writing. But as I translate this sentence into English, and I want to read this sentence, I wouldn't say, do you see that Jakobos or Jacob, he is writing? This Jakobos and graphe are kind of, you translate them together. You can just say, Jakobos is writing, Jacob is writing. You wouldn't say, Jacob, he is writing. You say, Jacob is writing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does anyone not see where I'm coming from when I say that?
So the verb ending really just reemphasizes that it's it's a he or she, it's somebody else.
Right. Yeah. The verb ending is letting you know which word this is attached to, which word this is should be understood with. Right. Yeah. So you could say if I were to cross this out and make that third singular, and make this one second singular, it would mean something different. But since it doesn't say that, it's letting you know how these words are associated in the sentence.
She's just saying breakfast, oche, brafe, like, which, does that, would he say that?
Yeah, you could.
Because do you see the here?
Yeah, you could say that. This word could not be present. Then you could read, do you see that he is writing? But since it's specified Jacobos, do you see that Jacobos is writing? Yeah. Any questions with that one? All right, so we've got Dawid, Kare, Blepes, Hati Jacobos, Grafe. All right. Next sentence. Any volunteers for that one? All right, go for it.
Maria. Tigrafe o Jacobos.
And then inflect your voice at the end. Say Tigrafe ho Jacobos, because it's a question. Yeah, no, that was actually that was perfect. You want to try and translate it, or?
Is writing
Mm-hmm.
what? What is Jacob writing?
Yeah, perfect. So you'll see that sometimes we've got this this omicron with the breathing mark before names. So that word can roughly be translated as the. So if I were to translate this super literally, I'd say, I see that the Jacob is writing. But you wouldn't say that. So in English, we don't say the Stephanie, the Ken, the Nancy. But in Greek, you say it all the time. That's just something that makes sense in Greek, but doesn't really make sense in English. And whether or not that, it's called a definite article, whether or not that definite article, the, is present, is sort of irrelevant to how you would translate it in English. But in Greek, you see it all the time. Yeah.
Say a book,
Mm-hmm.
there's no word for the A. You just,
Yeah.
you have a the, sort of.
Right. So a little bit of English grammar. This the is called a definite article. This a or an is called an indefinite article. What that means is this is the book. This isn't just any book. This is the book. But this is a book. That's a book. That's a book. But this is the book. Right? So when I say the, I'm referring to a specific thing. But if I say indefinite, I'm referring to just something. Right. So right here, let me try and find an example that we've read already. So Jacobos says, I am writing a book. I'm not the book, but just I am writing a book.
It's just understood.
Right. But if we had this in here, we'd say, I am writing the book. Yeah. There's no indefinite article in Greek, just the definite article. Yeah. There's no word for or an in Greek.
When we go over this again, I'm sure, but when we add in third person plural, when we add the V or the N sound,
Mhm.
do sound.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like a or an, the indefinite articles?
Yeah, but it's not an indefinite article. It's just to make pronunciation more fluid, so that you don't have two vowels clashing against each
Okay,
other.
so
Yeah.
like a pause to transition from one vowel sound to another. Almost.
Yeah, it's just there so that it is easier to say and more pleasant to listen to, but it doesn't carry any meaning.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. So you said Maria blepo hati hayakabas grafe, ti grafe hayakabas, and then you translated that as I see that Jacob is writing. What is Jacob writing? So does anybody see this sentence and not understand how I got to that translation? Any questions with that?
I understand that. Is she asking Dawood, what is Jacob writing, or is she asking Jacobus, what are you writing?
Right. So the sentence before, David says, "Hello," or "Kaire, blepes hati Jakobos graphe?" He's asking Maria, "Do you see that Jacob is writing?" And Maria, or Mary, answers, "I see that Jacob is writing." What is Jacob writing? Yeah, so she's not referring to Jacob. She's referring to Jacob, but she's answering David.
If
Yeah.
she was asking, would it be the same sentence if she was asking, what are you writing, Jacobus?
So, right.
Would,
So if it was, "What are you writing, Jakobos?" this ending would be changed to ace.
okay, and then you would know that she, okay.
Right. What are you writing,
A
Jakobos?
and ace are so similar. You really got to listen for that.
Yeah.
That S sound. But
Yeah, that's right.
I'm confused by that, like,
Yeah, before the name.
I mean, it's not there always for every name.
Correct. Yeah. There may have been a nuance in Greek, but whatever that nuance was is lost to the sands of time.
Have to.
Nope. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Yeah.
So if we're writing, what would make us put it there?
If you're composing,
I mean, we're just writing a set, yeah.
well, so what would make you put it there is if you're copying a sentence and it's there, then you copy what's there. But if you're writing your own Greek sentence,
Yeah.
whatever you're feeling. So as you read different New Testament books by different authors, you start to notice different patterns. So each author writes a little bit differently. They may tend towards one grammatical construction over another. They may want to use that. They may not want to use it. So
So one isn't formal and the other is.
right, yeah, it can be there, or we can just ignore it. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything in English that we understand it to mean, if that makes sense. So it may have meant something 2,000 years ago, but whatever that nuance is, we don't have it anymore. I'm sure that you could look online and find some article where someone says they know what it means and they may be right, but for our purposes in introductory grammar, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. All right. So Maria, blepo hati Jakobos graphe, ti graphe ha Jakobos. Line 15. This table. Somebody want to read it?
Awid Biblion Graphe Ha Jakobos.
Biblion graphe ha Jakobos. Perfect. What does that mean? Yep, perfect. Jakobos is writing a book. Let's go to the next sentence. Maria, middle sentence, middle table. Want to take a stab at that?
Kai, ego, thelo, graphen, biblion.
Yeah. Kai ego thelo graphein biblion. All right, so what's this word?
And
No, so it can be and or also.
Also,
Yeah.
also.
Kai can be and or also. So we translate this kai ego thelo graphein biblion. What's this word? Does anyone remember? Thelo? Yeah, wish or desire. Yeah, perfect. So we've got kai ego thelo. How would you translate that? Yeah, so and I also desire, or I myself also desire, or and I desire, or and I myself desire. Any of those would work. Because remember, we've got the ego for emphasis, because we've got fellow with the first person singular, I wish. So we've got something a little bit unique, though, in this next word. So we recognize this next word is coming from grapho, but it's got this ain ending instead. Does anybody remember what that is? It's not an ending like a verb ending, like oase, amenete, use. It's not in that chart.
That's what.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh well. So what is it?
It's called, it's like the to write,
Infinitive.
infinitive,
Right. Yeah.
like the base.
Yeah. So it means to write, not I write, not he writes, but to write, as in I've taken that verb writing and I'm turning it into a noun. I'm referring to the action of writing, to write. I run, you run, we like to run, if that makes sense. Infinitive. So ein, epsilon iota nu, infinitive. So we translate it as I myself also wish to write a book. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is there any questions on that sentence? All right. So, next one. This table right over here to my left. Anyone want to try and read this sentence?
Raffles.
Perfect. Yeah. What does that mean? Yeah, Maria and Jacob are writing. Perfect. Yeah, we wouldn't say Maria and Jacob, they are writing. We would just say Maria and Jacob are writing. Perfect. All right.
Just say that putting "and" on the back meant like saying "to."
Oh, no, ain. So right here,
Well, that's just specific to.
yeah, so epsilon, iota, nu ending is the infinitive ending. Yeah, so
Okay,
right
so-
here.
So only with that, the EI.
All that you've learned so far, epsilon, iota, nu is the infinitive ending. Yeah, this is not an infinitive. This is anybody know what this is?
Third person, plural.
Third person plural. They write. Perfect. Usen. Remember, so we've got O, ace, a, amen, ete, usen.
Who's,
Right?
who's,
Does anybody understand what I'm doing when I say O, ace, a, amen, ete, usen?
those,
All right. Those guys. Perfect. All right. Line 21. A little bit longer. Who feels confident with this one? It's a little bit longer. I'll go ahead and read it. Dawid Ugrafe. So David, what's this word?
Oh,
No or not. Yeah, negation. So, yeah. And then what's this? So he writes. So we've got a third singular ending, epsilon iota, he writes. It's not David does not he write. We would just say David does not write. Or David is not writing.
Yes, David.
Yeah. That would be the weird literal translation. David, he don't write. Yeah. But the David, he is not writing, or David does not write. Not only does he not write, David does not what?
it's a water right.
He doesn't want to write. Sorry. So what's this ending? We've got graphane, epsilon iota nu. What's that? To write, infinitive. So David, he, because it's a third person singular, David, he does not want to write. So David is not writing. David does not want to write. All right, so this is a shorter sentence. Anyone want to give that a shot? Pronunciate.
Wish.
Well, in Greek first.
Oh, we didn't read that yet.
Dawid,
Dele, they, Lue to Biblium.
not Lue, but Luane. Right. So if this nu wasn't there and it was just Lue, it would be he what? He destroys, or he destroys or he loosens, he destroys. But because that nu is there, it says to destroy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So David, he don't write. David is not writing. David does not wish to write. David wishes what? To destroy the book, right. This right here is another form of the definite article, the. We'll have a whole chapter dedicated to definite articles, so you'll learn that later on. Yeah, ta. Yeah. So you've learned We've got this is an indefinite article, and this is two different words. That's that's a definite article. Like I said, you've got a chapter dedicated to definite articles later on down the road, but just know that this is the book. So David does not write. David does not wish to write. David wishes to destroy the book. This is where the dialogue gets to get really bizarre.
Not even.
Yeah, I don't know. No idea. Line 24. I'll go ahead and read this. Marcos Blepe. What is that?
See,
Yeah, Mark sees Hati Maria Kayakabas Grafusen. Right, so Mark sees that Maria and Jacob are writing. So this usin, this is the third plural. They write. They are writing. Who's the they? Maria and Jacob, or Maria Kayakabas. Marcos Blepe Hati Maria Kayakabas Grafusen. Line 26. Marcos. Any volunteers?
Lego, Lepen, I,
Akuin, perfect, yeah. Marcos. So Marcos says, T graphite. So everyone go like this, T, and then graphite. So this is interesting because you hear us say all the time, well, in Greek it says, but in English it says this. What that means when someone says that is there's a nuance in Greek that is not being captured in English. So here's an example right now of a nuance that you can say in Greek that you cannot say in English. That's the second person plural. So in English, I would say, did you do the homework? I'm not referring to one person. I'm referring to all of you. I'm saying, did you do the homework? Did you do the homework? You do the homework. You guys do the homework. So what I'm saying is you in English can mean you singular or y'all plural. And we would scoff at anyone that says y'all because that's not good English. But they say y'all in Greek in a different way. This epsilon, tau, epsilon ending is something that exists in Greek that does not exist in English. And so what that means is when you read the New Testament, sometimes you'll see Jesus talking to one person. Sometimes you'll see Jesus talking to multiple people. Is he talking to just this guy? Or is he addressing a group of people? And as you read the New Testament in Greek, you'll see that, whoa, it's not always the same. And so there's a nuance there. It doesn't necessarily change the meaning of the text in terms of what the teaching is, but it's a nuance that doesn't exist in English, that exists in Greek. So you just got your first sample, your first flavor of what Greek can do that English can't. And you'll see that in every chapter as we start filling in these gaps. So what about in English? How would you say this in English? Anyone?
what are you all writing?
Yeah. What are y'all writing? Marcos, what are y'all writing? Or what are you writing? And then he says what? Anyone?
I'd like to see and hear what you're writing.
Yeah, I'd like to see and hear what you write. Good. That's a good English gloss. Or I wish to see. So I wish, and blepo, remember blepo, we've got our little radar here. Blip, blip, I see it. There it is. So I wish to see and to hear. Anyone know what acoustic means? Like this is an acoustic guitar instead of an electric guitar. Acoustic or echo, so it has to do with sound. So akuo is Greek for hearing. So you hear that. So now you can see where we're getting the English from. We're actually just pulling from this ancient vocabulary. Akuane.
It's infinitive, so it's like two.
And it's got the infinitive ending. Perfect. To hear. So Marcos. Tigrafete. Thelo blepein kai akuane. What are y'all writing? I want to see and to hear. Perfect. Any questions there? All right. Next sentence. Jakobos kai Maria graphomen biblion. Theles graphein. All right, so we've seen this word already. This is a capital gamma, if you're wondering what that is. We've got this word, but we've got this ending here. Anyone know what that is?
First person plural.
First person plural, yeah. So everyone do this. Amen. Me and you, amen. Graf amen. Or sorry, yeah, we. Graf amen, we. Me and you. We are writing, what's that? A book. Right, a book. We are writing a book. What about here? What do we got going on?
I wish,
Wishing.
or we wish.
You wish?
You wish? Yeah, so second person singular, ace. You wish or do you want? Do you want to write? So Jacob and Mary say, we are writing a book. Do you wish to write? But Marcos, well, he's getting sneaky. Marcos says, Othello graphane. Othello graphane. So I do not want to write. I do not wish to write. So instead of writing, what does he want to do? Right. And what's this? The infinitive to teach. Not just I wish I teach. I wish to teach. So remember, didasko is teacher, or didaskalos is teacher. Didaskane is to teach. Yeah. So Mark says, I do not wish to write. I want to teach. Perfect.
Lesson one. He's a teacher.
Yeah, he's the teacher. Perfect. Line 32. Who wants to read that? Someone who doesn't feel confident. Give it a shot. Yeah, go for it.
Vi kai ego telo dedaski.
Perfect, yeah. Kai ego thelo didaskein. Yeah, so Dawid says, and then Mike, do you want to give that an English translation? So let's break it down. Kai, what's that? And or also. Yeah. And I, perfect. What's this word? Wish or desire. Yeah, wish or desire. Fellow.
Okay.
And then what's this omega doing at the end?
First person singular.
First person singular, I. Right, so we have also or and then ego thelo. So it's not just I wish, it's I myself or I wish, because of emphasis. And then this word, to teach. So David says, and I myself also wish to teach, would be how you translate that. And then this is how he teaches. Dawid lue to biblion. What's this ending here? Epsilon Yoda?
Singular third person.
Singular, third person singular, perfect. So we're not saying David he destroys, we're saying David destroys. David destroys the book. And that's how he's teaching. And then, as a result, David destroys the book. Jakobos kai Maria ugurafusen. So Jacob and Mary are not writing. Why are they not writing? Because David destroyed the book. All right, Jakobos kai Maria ugurafusen. So we're not saying Jacob and Mary, they are not writing. We say Jacob and Mary are not writing. And this usin is the third person plural, lets us know, and this is the third person plural that they're referring to. Remember, third person being that guy, third person plural, those guys. So Jacob and Maria are not writing. And then line 36. Somebody say this with some attitude.
Poems.
Yes. Poyes, perfect, yeah. Ti poyes. Maria says, what did she say? What are you doing? And now it's ace. So that's second person singular, which is you. Remember, O, ace. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
Maria says, what are you doing? And David says, everyone just read it together. Dawi lege didasco. Remember, O. So what's O? Yeah, first person singular, I. David says, I am teaching.
Can it be IT?
Yeah, I teach, or I am teaching. Yeah, one or the other. Okay.
David said T in the lesson. What? Like what? You're
Yeah, what?
I'm the teacher.
So Jakobos lege, udidaskes su lues to biblion. So Jacob says, you are not teaching. Sorry, you are not teaching. So we've got second person singular. You are not teaching. You are destroying the book. So now we've got su lues. So that's repetitive, right? We've got ace here for second person singular, and su. So if we got ego thelo, I myself wish, what do you think su lues would be?
You destroy.
Yeah, it's with emphasis. No, you yourself are destroying the book, or you're destroying the book. It's emphatic.
Can you do not teach, you destroy the book? Or is that wrong?
Yeah, you do not teach. That would work. You do not teach, or you are not teaching. Either one. Yeah. You are destroying. You are destroying the book, or yeah. So Maria and Jakobos. So Maria kai Jakobos legusin. So Mary and Jacob are saying. So we've got usin, third plural. Maria kai Jakobos are saying. We got a new word here. Upistuomen. Does anybody know what that means? Believe, right? Pistuo, believe. So, amen, what's that ending?
First plural.
Third person, yeah. So, we. So, we do not believe that you are destroying the book. All right, some new vocabulary here. Deity. Yeah. So, why or for what reason? So deity, why are you destroying the book? Remember, if you're looking at the opposing page, you've got the English translation with the English words that you need. So if you go to page 9, you see deity means why or for what reason. Why are you destroying the book? We wish, and here's a new word, gnosko or gnoskein. To know, right? To know, or to hold something in your head, to know. And then we've got this epsilon iota nu ending. What's that? Infinitive, yeah. So we wish to know. Maria kayakabas legusin. Maria and Jacob say, Upistuomen hati lues to biblion. We do not believe that you are destroying the book. Deity lues to biblion. For what reason are you destroying the book? Thelomen genoskein. We wish to know. We're running low on time, so I'm going to carry us through the rest of this. David lege. David says, luo to biblion. I am destroying the book. Hati u thelographein. That, or because, I do not wish to write. David lege, luo to biblion, hati u thelographein. David says, I am destroying the book because I do not wish to write. It's a funny sentence. Maria klaye. Anyone know what that means? Cry or weep, right? Perfect. Maria klaye. Jakobos kraye. Maria kai Jakobos klayusin. So Mary cries, Jacob cries, Maria and Jacob are crying. All right. Marka sakue hati Maria kai Jakobos klayusin. Marcus or Mark hears that Maria and Jacob are crying. Marcos lege. Mark says, dia ti cliete. So this is the second person plural, ete, the thing that doesn't exist in English. For what reason or why are you crying? Maria kai Jakobos. Klai amen. Me and you, we, us. We are crying.
Destroying the book.
Perfect. Maria kai Jakobos. Kliomen hati David lue to biblion. Marcus lege. Mark says, "Oh, David, what? Oh, it's kind of an onomatopoeia. It's, oh, David, diati lues to biblion. For what reason are you destroying the book?" David lege. David says, "Luo to biblion." What does that mean?
I destroyed the book.
Yeah, I destroyed the book. Hati thelo didaskane. Yes, because I wish to teach, or because I wish to teach them. Hati u thelographein. David lege. Luo to biblion. Hati thelo didaskane. Autus hati u thelographein. David says, I'm destroying the book because I wish to teach them that I do not want to write. Go figure. All right. Marcus lege. Mark says, what? Ugenoskes hati ego emi hata daskalos? What? What is this? Ugenoskes. Anyone? You don't know that I myself, ego emi, I myself am the teacher? David says, David lege tiestin didaskalos. Anyone? What is a teacher? Marcus lege didaskalos didaske. A teacher teaches. A teacher teaches. Okay, so that was dialogue 2. I'll go ahead and stop the recording right there.